everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And do you see what I have here? I have a plethora of envelopes. By the way, plethora has been Bob's new word of the week since he come home, so I thought I'd throw that one in just for Bob. Okay, so we're going to talk envelopes today. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for today's video, but this is one I can work on. We can chat. Remember, this is a premiere, so if you are here on June 8th, on Friday, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for about 25 minutes or so, we are in the chat room right next door. Come on in and say hello. And if you're more a lurker, that's okay too. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so we're going to talk envelopes today. Now, this is a small portion of the envelopes that I have, but I want to talk about what they can be used for in your junk journals, get a little bit of feedback from you, and talk about what I have planned for the envelopes. So I'm going to move the tray aside, and we're going to talk about the different envelopes. Now, I have some of them here I'd started sorting. I started with sorting them into colors. I have the black lined envelopes and I have the blue lined envelopes. And if you'll notice, there's a wide variety, depending on the company, what the insides of the envelopes look like. And I like that idea, because one of the things I'm going to do with the insides of these envelopes, we're going to be cutting them apart and we're going to be turning them into master boards. Now, another envelope that I have are these that have these bigger windows in them, and we're going to keep these as is in a separate pile, even though they've got the colored backings, because these are great for doing peekaboo pockets in your junk journals, and we'll be doing some of those. So I'm laying these aside because I only have so much room on my desk. So I have a whole bunch more here. Now this is kind of a brown, but I'm going to put it in the black. And then these come from Menards, and I like the pictures here. And sometimes they've got holiday scenes. These also have a cool texture to them. So Menards is going in a stack all its own. Okay. Now, if you do not have junk mail envelopes, and you would like some junk mail envelopes, please feel free to leave me or to email me and request some, and I'll drop some in the mail to you. So here's some from Christmas from Menards. Aren't those cute pictures we can use? These can be trimming on pockets or used as they are. So I'll save those. There's another one, a couple more of those big window envelopes. So I will give you the opportunity to get a hold of some of these, so that if you would like some, so we can do craft-alongs. I won't start the projects with these until July, so you have time. Look, a totally different pattern there, almost like a Zentangle. So you have plenty of time to get some envelopes in so you can play along. Now, what I'd also like you to do is in the comments below, please leave me a comment as to whether you have used junk mail envelopes in your journals, or if you need a little help in what to do with them. There are lots of cool things you can do with these envelopes. And I'm not going to sort all these. See, a totally different one from any of the other blue ones we've sorted. It just amazes me the number of patterns that are here. And like I said, I'm not going to sort through this whole tray, but I want to get a few out here and show you what we have to work with. Okay, now this one doesn't have any windows at all, so I can show you what we'll do with these. Totally different. This one is patterned on the outside, not on the inside. Again, I'm going to put it with the blue ones because I like the difference in the pattern. This one has this big, but it also has a wreath on the outside and a stamp that I needed to pull off, so we can do that. Okay, so I have those. Let me move Menards off to the side. Okay, now these with the big windows in them, I am not cutting those apart. We are going to save those, and we will do peekaboo pockets in a junk journal at some point. So we're going to hang on to those as they are. And I'm going to set this tray that I've only taken about a third off of and set it back down here on the my tray stand. Okay, and now I can sit So let's start breaking these envelopes down. I'm going to move these off. We're going to work with the black ones first. Now you can do these a couple of different ways. You can go ahead and you can open these up and do this, but I'm going for simplicity here. So I'm just going to take my paper trimmer, move my inks out of the way so I make sure I get this in where you can see. Move my chalk paint. That one's my watered down chalk paint. I use it for splatters. Okay, let me check and see where we're at on the trimmer. We're good. Okay, so all I'm going to do to simplify this process is I'm just going to go in about 1/4 of an inch and I'm going to zip that apart just like that. Now I'm going to lose some of this and that's fine. I have more than enough here to work with. Now the next one I'm going to go with is I'm going to look right here where this envelope flap seal is at, and I'm just going to whack that one off the way it is too, right there. So basically I'm just trimming it around, trying to get a hold of it. And you want to make sure you go past that flap so that you get past the glue. For what you're going to lose, it's no big deal. Now I'm going to get these out of my way over here into my trash can that I probably should have emptied before I started. And now we have 2 pieces of that paper. Now, if I wanted to, I could go through and I could go ahead and trim this off too, but I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. So, yeah, Bob is home. We won't be doing... We're going to work on a couple of big projects while he's home. He's going to help me finish getting the garden in. And we're going to get the base done so that I can set up the tank. If you don't know what a tank is a big round water tank that's used for watering livestock. And I use it to sit in and cool off. It's my pool. Donna has one too. Yeah, there we go. Totally different pattern. So we have 21 days to see if we can get a couple of big projects done. My main concern are those 2 projects because I want to be able to sit in my tub or my pool as it gets warmer outside. And I need to get the garden in. The peppers are going like gangbusters. What am I missing here? What didn't I cut? Didn't cut this one. See, I'm not really measuring. I'm just making sure I get an end cut off so that I have 2 pieces, just like that. I have 8 green peppers, 4 to 6 cantaloupe, depending on whether I get a second bed put in or not. Right now I have 4. I have 6 watermelon. I have 5 early girl slicer tomatoes. And when we get the next piece of the bed done, I have 8 cucumbers to do and 32 Roma tomato plants so I can start doing some tomato sauce. God, my brain some days just shuts down all its own. Oh, and the other thing we're going to do is we're going to get 2 more stock shelves put in our pantry downstairs so I can start getting stuff canned and freeze and dehydrated and into jars and start stocking that up because, as I've talked about before, Bob is retiring at the end of the year, partially retiring, and I'm trying to stock the pantry just as much as I can before that happens. You see all these horror stories about these seniors trying to live on their Social Security and having to make decisions between whether they pay the electric bill or they eat, and by planning ahead, I mean, you know it's coming, right? You know you're going to retire at some point. So you need to prepare for that. Now, Bob's done really good about some investments, and that allowed us to pay the house off. But, I do the cash envelope, so we'll have money set aside for emergencies. But I'm also going to be on a budget of how much I can spend on groceries every month, and I want to make sure that we are sitting pretty with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break this big envelope down. I'm not sure I'm going to use this, but we're going to go ahead and add it to the stack anyway, just to be sure. Now there are lots of homesteading and channels on YouTube, and I follow several of them, but I'm also considering adding my own information. I have a homesteading blog that I want to get back to, but you know, there's just not enough hours in the day. And I know that once the office is done, that will help, because I won't be trying to organize the office every time I turn around. I worked on the dies, the miscellaneous dies, not the ones that are part of stamp sets, but all the miscellaneous dies that I've ordered from Maddie from Spectrum Art Creations. Dies where I didn't want the stamp set per se from Stampin' Up, but I did want the dies for like borders and frames and that kind of thing. So I've been trying to get those cataloged, and I ran out of the envelopes like I was storing the stamps in, and I ran out of magnet sheets. Well, the magnet sheets were easy to do. I just had to go to Menards. The bags should have been easy, because all I had to do was order them from Amazon, just like I did before. And the day that I was expecting them to come in, instead of them coming in, I got a notification from Amazon that I would be getting a refund on them. So at some point I'm going to have to, I've priced, and the best ones I can find of that style are at Hobby Lobby, unless I want a case of 1,000. Then I can go to an Office Mart or Uline. So that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay, I'm going to move this for the time being, and I'm going to bring in my little We Are Memory Keepers vacuum. I love this thing, because all I have to do is run it over my place, and it will pick up all that little stuff for me. I don't have to worry about it. Look at that. All my little pieces of paper are gone, and when I'm done, I just pop this off and empty it in a trash can, and I'm done. Okay, now let's get a piece of paper here. I should have, let's use a piece of gray. Let's use a piece of gray. Now I got rid of all my junk cardstock. Well, oh, here's one. Let's use this. I got rid of all of my, what am I trying to say? Recollections cardstock. Except I hung onto the 12 by 12 because I have so much Stampin' Up! Cardstock, and it's much better quality. So I am going to go ahead and use a glue stick. And when I'm doing this, I use the Tombow Mono glue stick. Best glue stick for this. And all I'm going to do is, to start with, I'm going to get rid of the glassine window, because that's not going to stick to anything. And I could have used the paper trimmer for that. And then I'm not going to worry about, I'm just going to tear it into pieces. Just like that. Run my glue stick over it. Now I'm going to do these monochromatic, so I'll have all the blacks on here. Then I'll do one that is just all the blues. And I'm just going to make one big master board with all these envelope pieces. And the main reason I'm doing this is because I want to get rid of these envelopes off my pile over here. I need the tray room for other projects. I hope that next Friday I will be doing a Finish It Friday. There are going to be some Saturdays where I want to do a project like this, and then there's going to be Finish It Fridays, because I have 4 journals over there to finish, 5 actually to finish, and I'm not even sure where I'm at on finishing them. So now, instead of ripping into this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rip in to this one and bring in a different pattern. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rip. Give me some cutesy little angles, different sizes. Maybe tear that strip off of there like that. So I want to get some of these partial journals out of the way and get them up and running. Oh, and that reminds me, I have potentially found an alternative to Etsy. I am still doing some research, and I will keep you posted. What I found out so far about this company is it's not a big company. I like that part. It's pretty much one guy and a small team. There are no bots to automatically decide that what you posted can't be sold or anything like that. Now you do have, it is a jury type of situation, so you have to submit what you would be selling and, you know, get approval for your site. And they basically set you up with a basic type of website, as well as the same kind of format that you have on Etsy. And it is strictly for handmade. They don't want to be encumbered by people doing third-party drop ship type of stuff. It is strictly for homemade, handcrafted items. And I love it. And I'm going to link a channel down below. God, I cannot remember her name to save my life. But she's got a shop over there. And I love her stuff. And I mean, I can do die cut stuff. I can do full journals. I can do journal kits. Pretty much anything I want, as long as it's handmade or is used for making handmade items, such as scrapbooking kits or card making kits or junk journal kits. As long as the items that are sold can be used to make something. And I really like that. They're not greedy. There's not tons of fees. And I found out about this by a gal who does an Etsy educational type of program. And she actually contacted him, and he did a real interview. I mean, it was cool. He actually talked to her. Not, you know, if you have a problem with Etsy, you're lucky if you get Etsy to reply. It's always just a bot kind of situation. And that's one of the reasons that I've steered away from actually playing with Etsy, because it's not what it was created initially to be, and that's kind of sad. And this guy has no intentions of ever doing that, and the profits that he makes above operational fees is divided amongst a variety of charities, mostly involving children. So, yeah, I'm going to check him out for sure. I've been scoping out the channel, and I will give you more information as I get it. But it's kind of what I'm leaning to, so I don't have to deal with Etsy. I'm going to bring in my tear ruler for this, so I can get some texture on here. And let's get some strips. Just like that. I found my tear ruler when I was cleaning. Amazing, the Christmas presents you find when you're cleaning your craft room, right? That's where that went. So, as I said, Bob's home, but I'm trying to stay on schedule, so I'm hoping there will be videos like there are supposed to be next week. We did Tag Tuesday, so next Tuesday will be a Try It Tuesday, and I have a couple of those in mind that I want to play with. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that one. Could have cut these strips smaller, I think, but that's okay. We're going to go, let's go right here. Oh, let's go here. We can always come back and cover up those little spots. And let's get rid of that one. So I hope you will come back. I do not have a sack. Yes, I do. I have a sack Saturday. So we'll be back here tomorrow for sack Saturday. And then we'll be back here Monday for All Things Altered. I'm playing with something really cool for that too. I hope you'll enjoy. And then Try It Tuesday. So that's going to do it for me in the studio today. Remember to like, to share, subscribe. Let me know if you need envelopes. My email address is in the description box below. And also tell me in the comments whether you have used envelopes, junk mail envelopes in your junk journals. You need some ideas. You want to do something different. Let me know what you need in the comment section below, and I will do my best to help you out. Creative blessings.